people to know the difference between the herbal tincture, just the tinctures, and the spagyric tincture? Like, how are they different?
Oh, okay. So when Spagyric is an alchemical process where we take the tincture and like a hydrosol and maybe a CO2 and um uh tincture, essential oil, CO2, and sometimes how we make the supremes where we take the same plant from different regions and mix it all. So it is that, but also the plant is burned down to an ash so that you get some of the mineral uh, that would not normally be available. So then it even has just a little tiny bit of ash mixed in with it, and then you put it together in this alchemical process. And so energetically, it is the most potent out of all the different ways of doing it. And it's very harmonizing to the soul and body, like it harmonizes those two components. And so it's very, very soothing, regardless of what you're using it to treat. And so a lot of times these are used for psychological or spiritual development, but you can use them for physical things as well. I mean, I do. Um, Then you have herbal tinctures. So herbal tinctures are just the herbal extracts. There's no essential oil been added to these. And the herbal extracts that we're doing most tinctures are a 4-to-1 ratio. Sometimes they're even 8-to-1. So 4-to-1 means 4 parts alcohol to 1 part plant. The tinctures that we're making are 2-to-1. So it's 2 parts alcohol to 1 part plant. So they're twice as potent as anything else that's on the market for the most part. Most people are doing 4-to-1. And so we're making them extra strong. So it's not just a regular tincture, it's a pretty potent tincture. Then we have when it says I don't know that we've even put them out yet. Well, we'll say H and then slash EO. It's herbal tincture and essential oils together. And so that means that it's like a normal tincture, but we've added essential oils. And so with that, you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. And sometimes the herbal tincture might not be the same oils that got mixed in with it, and so yeah, there's just various combinations like that. Sometimes a blend might not be something of essential oils, might not be something you would take internal because maybe some of the oils are too strong, but you can take the herbal version of it, and still get some benefit from it. And so there's just all these variations. So we're trying to standardize all of this for you guys. So, you see what it is and then can just follow suit. But, some of the ones marked support, like sleep support, for example, like it's just as potent taking it internally as you sitting and inhaling it and going around and doing the quadrants of the aura. So if you do them both together, oh man, it takes off like nobody's business. So it deepens the process. And so we're kind of doing it so when you're treating something, you kind of overlap and layer some of these things to make for a very deep healing process. And so this is things we've had in motion for like what, maybe a year. Like we were planning this almost a year ago, maybe a little bit longer, and just starting to unwind all of it. So
And I'm just gonna jump and add just one more element that I don't know if it's gonna be helpful for you guys, but we do have categories. I am gonna show you guys if you're watching the screen at all. So we have the category tinctures, okay? And some will say herbal and some do not say herbal. If they say herbal, it's also because Greg has another actual essential oil
yeah.
that is that. So we have the sleep support oil, but now he has the herbal sleep support tincture, in which, like he said, is different, but it's like the herbal version that you could take internal. And I
Right.
just want to specify, and that's because some of those essential oils, again, you wouldn't take those
Internal.
internal.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to just kind of specify that, because like the herbal Solomon's hyssop, you would not want to be taking Solomon's hyssop essential oil internal.
Right.
So we'll keep making that more clear for you guys, but I wanted to make that kind of out there for you guys right now.
Mm.
So if it's a tincture, you can take it internal,
Mm.
period. And then if you have question whether other things you can or can't, just let us know. Email us. We're happy to answer those for you. Can Greg talk about Lady Slipper?
Lady Slipper. Lady Slipper is like a more potent form of valerian. Like you know how we were talking about resetting the homeostasis mechanisms. Valerian's very good in the essential oil world. Herbally, it's very good, but in herbally, an even better version is Lady Slipper. The issue with Lady Slipper is it's hard to get and it's kind of expensive for in the herbal world. And so there is no essential oil of Lady Slipper. So you're really left with um, having to use a tincture or so. Every once in a while you find capsules of it. But the thing that I like about the tinctures is the capsules. I've bought them through the years, and sometimes by the time I get them, nobody really knows about it. So sometimes they sit on the shelves for 5 or 10 years, and you'll buy them and they have really no potency. In a tincture form, it doesn't lose the potency over a period of time. And so Lady Slipper by itself really helps to reset homeostasis. And in the old days, they used to use Lady Slipper when treating people going off like heroin and morphine and opium and cocaine. And, because back in the turn of the century, all that stuff was legal. And you could just go to the pharmacy and get all that stuff. And so they would have to deal with people who are super addicted to it. And when they start to go off of it, their nerves are just shot. Their body's not in homeostasis. And so they would give them dosages of, that's the international sign for a tincture, by the way. I'm like, they would give them dosages, consistent dosages of Lady Slipper, and it would help to stabilize the person, bring about homeostasis, so that it was easier to transition off the drugs and things like that. And so you would even see it in severe back injuries and things like that, is they would use Lady Slipper to help restart homeostasis. And so it does induce sleep, it induces deep relaxation, but it's very stabilizing and normalizing to the body, more so than even vetiver, or excuse me, valerian. And so in that is one where I've mixed a little bit of valerian in with the Lady Slipper just to augment it a bit. But the Lady Slipper tincture is almost all Lady Slipper with just a hint of valerian.
Would that work for alcohol addiction?
Yeah, any sort of addiction, like any, it's not going to be the only thing. There's a good herb to use when trying to help somebody transition off alcohol. There's this herb called I don't know if I'm saying it right, kudzu or kudzu. It's like Kudza, and it helps to reduce the cravings for alcohol. Yeah, it's like I think it's like a weed. It's like a really prolific weed, like down in the South, and very good for uh, for treating the cravings for alcohol.
They're asking, these tinctures have no alcohol?
No, they have some alcohol in them. Yeah, yeah. We use alcohol as an extraction. Glycerin doesn't extract very well. I mean, it extracts, but it doesn't. Alcohol and vinegar are the two best ways to extract herbs. And so here we do both. Yeah.
All right, yeah. I think the patient is instructed to not take anything with alcohol, like by the rehab people.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, yeah, we might be able to make something with vinegar if we had a heads up, but it's about a 4 to 6 week turnaround time. You know, you got to go through the whole extraction process, and so um, if there's something in particular, we can try to address. If not, try using capsule versions of those, or if there's an essential oil available of whatever you're trying to use, you can use that.